Hello, welcome to a little stream. We're flying a Cirrus SR22, which is a lovely little four-seater single-engine propeller plane from Innsbruck, well actually not Innsbruck, we took it from Kufstein, which is sort of over yonder, here. Came around the corner through Vögel, came through Hopfgarten, and then we're now going down through Kitzbühel. You can see the levels here. Actually, we're outside of controlled airspace, so that's actually fine. We're aiming for Zell am See at the moment, so that's just over here. And then what we may do is maybe take it on a little bit further to towards Salzburg International Airport up here, and then fly back over through the Inntal. So at this point here, we don't actually have to have contact with air traffic control.
Radar, good evening, Dolomiti 24 Papa Tango for travel 240.
But we are connected to the frequency, just for monitoring.
Hello. The western part of Austria is just covered until level 165 by me. Munich radar is offline, so I'm on the Munich command.
Okay, that's the western part of Austria, so I'm guessing that's me. So he's not actually covering this at all.
Radar.
Dolomiti 2 from Papa Tango, monitoring command to 28. Munich radar is offline.
Monitoring Unicom, Dolomiti 24 Papa Tango.
Offline 490, wind calm, runway to 6 gear to land.
Okay, actually we don't need to be connected to this GS frequency at all, so where's my comms?
Offline 87, monitoring command to 29.
Monitoring Unicom, schönes Wochenende.
Servus, schönen Flug.
Yeah, we're on 1228 now. We just come over the Jochberg Pass in Tirol, so if we look underneath, that's just over there on the right. We've kind of just flown a little kind of a quick way through the mountains, avoiding some of the huts. We're now in the Mittersill Valley. This may be Niedersnil or Mittersill, and we've kind of got the Kitzsteinhorn area here. So we're now in the right valley for Zell am See. So actually I'm going to start a descent now. Now I'm going to do that is by turning off the autopilot and reducing to about 10% power. 25%. You see when I reduce the power, the nose goes down. And I'm going to say I don't want to descend so quickly, I just want about 5 degrees, there we go, so that's fine there. So we use that pitch now to descend. You can see the switch there. We're leaving the altitude, which is exactly the point of descending, I suppose. We're going to descend down, follow the right hand side of the valley, and then try and enter the pattern at Zell am See. But we do need a bit of weather information, so the weather is coming from that direction. Let me just check REX is actually working. Yeah, it's 2 knots, it's quite a chilled wind. So I'm going to turn left now. We're going to follow these power cables here. This is a power cable, lines on the floor. Using Google Maps, and you can see the realism is a little bit better with Google Maps actually. Sometimes the color grading's off, but like for example the fact that the resolution is high enough to see the power cables, which you wouldn't see with Bing at all. So that's quite impressive. So just zooming in now, you can see we're going to follow this thing up here. There should be a traffic somewhere. There is way up there. He's probably coming in for Innsbruck, so that's no factor. Just on the left there. Okay, so the airport is actually somewhere over here, and we probably could just do a straight-in approach as soon as we're visual. So if I'm just going to descend down to a kind of sensible altitude, let's figure out what the actual altitude of Chartfox. Log in, yes. Hello WZ. Taxi aerodrome chart. So the aerodrome is, we've got 780 meter long runway. The threshold is at 2471. So we kind of don't want to go below 35. 3,500 would be a fairly normal circuit height. So 2471 feet here. So it's a fair bit higher than Innsbruck actually by about 600 feet. Zell am See traffic, Cirrus Quebec uniform, flying straight in from the west, 6,000 feet, about 5 minutes from landing. Trying to do the speed control a bit better than last time. When I landed at Innsbruck, I was kind of coming in at like 130 knots with a strange, like ridiculously high descent rate. So this time I'm kind of trying to use a little bit less. Get a bit less crazy. Okay, it's lovely feeling. Now, if using REX Weather to get a more accurate representation of the actual ground situation at the airport level, unfortunately that does mean that we don't get the snow. But I'd rather actually have my visual cues and fly it with the ground looking more or less than it does, rather than just the background mountains having the snow on them. Also, I mean that the sim hasn't really gotten down to simulating ski piste remnants and so on. Actually going to get a bit more throttle out now. Down to 15. Now the airport should be straight ahead. And the runways we have at Salzburg are 08 and 26. So actually, I'm going to do a left traffic pattern for runway 26, given that the wind... Actually, no, the wind is fine. We don't get the live weather meta, so I'm going to have to go into REX now. Salzburg is 02204, so it's coming from the west. So I'm going to actually level off here. How are we going to level off? We're going to add power. So there's a runway in sight there. The wind's actually fine to land, so I'm actually just going to go straight in. Just a matter of if I can actually get the speed down enough. And also, I hope there's a mod at some point to fix the propeller here. So on the right hand side we've got the Maiskogel, which is a nice little part of Kaprun, going up to the Kitzsteinhorn at the back there, which is the mountain kind of way at the back in the background. The gear is down, we don't need to worry about that. However, we're not going to currently be able to get our flap speed down, so I might level off at 1000 above circuit altitude to lose the speed and kind of do a brake approach. So fly upwind. Power. Wind looks fine. So LMC traffic, Cirrus Quebec uniform upwind, runway 08 for a right traffic pattern. So here's the nice little village of Salzburg with the lovely lake on the left. Let's just make sure we're not doing anything daft. Got 120 knots, let's reduce down a bit more. On the right hand side we're looking at, it is a bit of a tight area actually. Gonna go a little bit to the left. Keep full 30 degrees of bank. Try and keep the descent rate more or less constant. Downwind now, we're below the flaps 1 speed, so flaps 1 going in now. There we go, downwind. We're about 900 feet above the level of the aircraft. Actually, 900 feet would be about right, yeah. We're going to look through the back window here, roughly the rear quarter, and when we see at the threshold is about 45 degrees, that's when we're going to make our final turn. Coming in over Kaprun now, there's the castle there. It's not actually become a castle, unfortunately. And the Kitzsteinhorn way up at the back there. Okay, looking at the back window now, we can see it's more than 45 degrees away, so flaps 2 is going in now, turning left and descending in the base leg. Salzburg traffic, Cirrus Quebec uniform, turning final, runway 08. Yeah, say maybe a bit low, so just give it a nice gentle descent right now. That will look like we're good. Yeah, and just using the visual point there, I'm aiming at the threshold basically. Not the extended one. This is going to be a short field landing. And then we might just go straight away, touch and go, departure to the north, left turn out to Salzburg. Let's do that. Okay, looking at the numbers. Touchdown. Back up. Get the climb rate up now. Go 80 knot climb. I'm going to go up another couple of hundred feet. When I'm at 3,000, I'm going to turn left. You can see that the plane it's a 380 horsepower engine, so it's got a lot of power. It's able to make these kind of quick climb outs, which is another thing that makes it really fun to fly. So configuration change and left turn, maybe not the best thing to do both at once, but it's no problem in the Cirrus. Coming out. I'm going to hug the right hand shore of the lake. We're looking for Salzburg. On the left we've got the Schmittenhohe. This is the kind of red run that ends. It's a blue run until here and then it's red. And there's a few other runs. There's a black run somewhere in the town here. So this is Salzburg itself down here. And it's just kind of the whole ski area, and then you've also got the glacier up there at the back. It's a lovely, lovely place. Just kind of keeping about 100 knots climbing at the moment. Making full use of that engine, just check the fuel. I'm going to switch over the tanks to the right hand tank because you can see the left fuel has dropped much quicker than the right because we've only been feeding off the left now, so I'm going to swap to the right just for balance. Now we've got to just find out where is Salzburg. Okay, so it's going to be around here and then to the left, so we could actually go over the top of these mountains if we can be bothered. We could have gone along the valley and around, but I'm just going to try and kind of go through here. So straight up and then around here through Dienten Hochkönig, that kind of area. I've probably got the lads at Salzburg chasing me down now over the fact that I've not paid them for a landing fee. Okay. I'm sure they will find a way to charge me if this was real. That's a nice waterfall. Right, I am going to pop on the autopilot for a bit. Salzburg traffic departing to the north, Cirrus Quebec uniform. Let's go up to 8,000 feet. 8,500. No, we're flying north. We're going 9,000. Because we're on a no 500 5 level. Vertical speed is the one we need. Vertical speed is the one we need. 1,500. And we need to turn the heading to the right one. And then engage the autopilot. So let's turn this to the heading straight away. We've got 103 knots and we're going nice and high. Looks like these mountains are a bit higher than what we are currently at. So what I'm going to do is turn left up this valley here and kind of follow that one around there. It seems to be the way to go anyway. This bowl here, this is Maria Alm, Hinterreit and all of that lot there. all over here. Dientenhochkönig is actually at the back of these two mountains here. So we could go through there, or we could go through here, but I'm just going to have a look on the map and see which makes the most sense to do. So if we go right now, we're going to be actually going backtracking and then flying along that valley there, which I know to be steep. So I'm actually going to follow through this one here. And let's just have a look and make sure there's nobody there. Okay, that is much too much of a climbing rate. Can I reduce it now? You can see the speed losing itself there. So you want to make sure that speed is always under control. Okay, so we want to turn left into the valley on the left, so just wait for that speed to get right. I'm going to turn it just to 340 degrees. It's actually fantastic having autopilot when you're doing a VFR flight. Surprisingly nice. So when we get to 9,000, then we're going to accelerate up. And this might be a bit spicy. I mean, I could actually... Let's go up another 2,000 feet and see if we can get there. Let's go 1,000 feet per minute, and we're going to go across there now. Obviously, if something happens at this point, we're kind of screwed. There's no real options. If we had an engine out now, we'd try and glide back to Selamzee, basically. If we go over the top of the mountains, disadvantages, we're over the top of the mountains. The advantages, the valleys look pretty pants too. I mean, those are very steep-sided valleys. If I was following that one there along, there wouldn't be very many options there either. So I'm actually gaining enough altitude that when I get to the other side, I'm actually probably going to be in the right kind of level to, if anything goes wrong, to glide into Salzburg Airport. Let's just have a wee look over the nose. Okay, we can't look over the nose any more than that. It's holding a fantastic rate of climb. And turn right by another 5 degrees. It's actually a kind of godsend having these sort of three-dimensional map display on the thing there. So we're leaving behind. This is Saalbach, Hinterglemm, Leogang and Fieberbrunn. And then you've got Kitski around the corner here. These are the Steinplatte mountains here. And then that's the Inn, Nordkette in Innsbruck over there. And we're now flying over into the lovely Salzburg land, which is arguably more beautiful than the rest of Tyrol. What it definitely is a lot more rocky. So landing options here, let's have a look. I suppose we could just ruin our landing gear, or we could just go for the CAPS approach. Now the CAPS is a fun feature that the... is that valley better, or is it better if I go down there? Salzburg is over there, so I'm just going to carry on present course basically. And once we start accelerating, the plane should level off and I'll be able to see over the nose again. There you go. Yeah, once we get to 140 knots, I'm going to reduce the throttle and take a little break from the cockpit just as we cruise over. We're visually clear of all the mountains there. It's just heading to the right by 10 degrees. Who's that?
Green Radar, that was 2082, flight level 360, response XC.
With 2082, Wien radar, hello, identified. Descend level 180, speed level at 6C.
Descend flight level 180, speed level at 6C, 2082.
Check my full call sign. Wien radar, Oster, Echo, Alpha Quebec uniforms, Cirrus 22, 10,000 feet, just circling west of the Salzburg airspace.
Okay, go Alpha Quebec uniform, Wien radar, good evening, Salzburg QNH1026.
QNH1026, Quebec uniform. So I'm just going to circle here because Mr. Air Traffic Controller has only popped online and I need to figure out how to request a zone entry clearance in Austria. Should be fine actually. There's Salzburg Airport, so we're way too high.
November, contact Wien 1346757.
3467, for 27 November, danke, ciao.
Let's descend down using these circles.
Charlie monitoring, you can 128, come on.
You might need to drink of water.
Oscar, Echo Alpha Quebec uniform, Wien radar.
Go ahead.
Okay, Echo Alpha Quebec uniform, what are your intentions?
Just deciding on those right now while circling, but Oscar Quebec uniform, we'd like to make a full stop approach to Salzburg.
Okay, Echo Alpha Quebec uniform, roger.
Wien Radar, guten Abend. Ryder 927, flight level 370.
Ryder 927, Wien radar, 370, identified, copy.
Yeah, let's try and stick actually over here.
Qatar, so far Charlie, frequency change to Unicom, thanks for your
I think this is
contract, have a good night, bye bye.
maybe.
Okay, go Alpha Quebec uniform, ready.
A-firm, go for Oscar Quebec uniform.
Okay, go Alpha Quebec uniform, get to enter CTR via Highline. After Highline, direct Grödig. Expect runway 33, Salzburg QNH 1026, 7,000 feet or below.
Clear to enter the Salzburg CTR via Hallein and Gröding, not above 7,000 feet on the QNH 1026, expect a free. Oscar Echo Alpha Quebec uniform.
Okay, go Alpha Quebec uniform, correct. Next report, final 33.
We'll go Oscar Alpha Quebec uniform. I should have not chosen such a horrible name. So Hallein is this village here.
300.
It's probably one of the visual reference points. We're not above 7,000 feet now, so I can turn there. And he's offered us a straight-in approach to runway 33, asking us to just report final. So not too difficult. Basically, just got to get to a nice altitude for Hallein and then report final. So let me just quickly get the real map up and see where Hallein really is. So Hallein is actually this one here, so we just have to enter here. Grödig is then the next one along, and then we're in Salzburg basically. So you can just descend nicely down to Hallein and then Grödig, and then I should have a nice entry. But yeah, I'm sorry for the crazy circling. It's pretty much just came back from a quick break, and the aircraft was already entering controlled airspace, so kind of break off the approach as quickly as you can there and circle outside of controlled airspace. So this is now Hallein we're heading towards now. Next report Hallein. No, report final, he said. So Hallein, and then where's Grödig? Follow the river, and then where the autobahn goes to the left, the river comes out, and Grödig is just above it here. So that'll be Grödig, so I'm going to turn left now. So there's Hallein. Turning onto Grödig. Okay, so now we're heading towards Grödig, and then we're going to report final.
Northland 497, wind radar, good evening. Clear.
Just reducing the vertical speed now, and kind of aiming at the runway. I can see it's going to be a high approach, but we need to be below 119 knots for putting in the first layer of flaps. So yeah, we're coming in now. We're coming in over Grödig in a few seconds, and that'll be our final point there. That's Grödig. Once we put in flaps 1, the speed becomes no problem, but we need to get flaps 1 in there. That's the hard part. So we've got to try and get this aircraft below.
Top 59 Lima Tango, Unicom 1 today, bye-bye.
So I'm just going to put it in now and then see what happens. Yeah, we broke the plane a bit, but that's fine. Next one can only go in at a speed of 104, so that's now.
Northland 497, read back correct.
Oscar Echo Alpha Quebec uniform, final, runway 33 Salzburg.
Oscar Quebec uniform, report intention.
Oscar Quebec uniform, intentions 1 touch and go, 1 full stop.
Oscar Quebec uniform, wind Salzburg 204, runway 33, get touch and go. Report downwind, runway 33 for stop.
Clear touch and go, runway 33 and report downwind, Oscar Quebec uniform. Right, now I've got to quickly find out the circuit direction because he won't tell me that, will he?
Top
LOWS.
59 Lima Tango, Unicom 128, bye.
1228 for Top Cirrus 5 Lima Tango, thank you, bye-bye.
I'm flying this whilst trying to look at the charts. Could Oscar Quebec uniform just check the traffic direction?
500.
Oscar Quebec uniform, second.
Which right hand or left hand circuit?
Left hand patterns, runway 33 is published.
Roger, thanks.
208 to confirm, received TPDLC message direct whiskey 964.
Negative, we didn't receive.
I was assuming left because the city's on the right, but normally you say report left downwind, you don't say report downwind. I mean, that's a niggle. You know, it's air traffic control. If there's any opportunity to be extra clear with a simple word, you take it, as far as I'm aware.
14675 with 2082, thank you, bye.
Northland 497, read back is correct.
Northern 497.
Northern 497, your readback is correct.
As published, yes, and it was not on an immediately obvious piece of publication, so aerodrome information, for example. We're going to have a look at that then. Right, okay, we're climbing out. It's not even in the minimum surveillance. Let's turn left traffic then. Oscar Quebec uniform downwind.
Oscar Quebec uniform. Und befand runway 33, wind 240, 3 clear to land.
Little land runway 33, Oscar Quebec uniform. Flaps 1 speed. This is going to have to be a shortish final, actually.
Vienna radar, hello, Swiss 113 Foxtrot, west of Innsbruck at flight level 279er, climbing flight level 290.
Swiss 113 Foxtrot, wind radar, hello, identified, confirm, final cruise 290.
Little land turning left onto
Climbing
base
flight
leg.
level 290. Swiss 113 Foxtrot.
Swiss 113 Foxtrot, channel 290. Northern 497, push and start approved, face east.
500.
Looking good, just going to turn left now. Yeah, we've got 1 Pappy, 2 Pappy, reducing the vertical speed. Touchdown, right, let's now figure out where we're going to park, because this guy's going to want to know. GSC is on the left and then we turn right.
Ryanair 997, Unicom 128, bye-bye.
Unicom 22 for Ryanair 927, thank
There's
you.
the flaps up,
Bye.
and we're going to vacate left here. Oscar Quebec uniform vacated, free.
Oscar Quebec uniform, right. Join GSC via exit 2 and Golf 243. Bye-bye.
Exit 2 and Golf for free, Oscar Quebec uniform. Golf.
Green radar, good evening, Emirates 15 Lima, flight level 380.
This is exit 2.
Last station call in, confirm Qatari 15 Lima.
Confirmed Qatari 15 Lima.
Qatari 15 Lima, with radar contact.
Golf free is this one here. Okay, let's set that all up now and stop the flight. For now anyway, parking brake on, avionics off, engine off, mixture out, all of the lights off now. There we go.